Hey, Devin. Man, you've been around the program for so long. Did that make it easier for you coming in as a first-year player?
For sure. It made me more comfortable. I was prepared. There's a lot of guys in the locker room that I've been on visits watching for the past 3-4 years. So just getting word from them, knowing what I should be ready for, knowing what I should expect, it made it way easier for me, way more comfortability. And the coaches also, they gave me the real recruiting process. So it was the same when I got here. So I was ready when I got here, and I've just adjusted since, and it's been great.
Brendan's in the front row.
Having a parent who played here, I can imagine some guys like that could be, you want to start your own path, do your own thing, could be intimidating, not for you, I guess. What made that, why were you comfortable kind of following a place where your pops had played?
First off, there's a lot of guys in the building that my dad played with. So, my dad knows them as a person. I know them as a person since I've been growing up. I know they're not going to feed me BS. I know they're going to push me to the limit, and I tell them what I want to be, and, they're going to hold me to that standard, and they won't let me go below that standard. And that's what I need to be successful. Hard work never fails, so I need people to push me to that limit as well as myself. So that's also another reason why, I'm comfortable here, the coaches, for sure.
Peter, second one.
Devin, I'm sure you've probably been asked about this, but how much you really embrace of being a legacy player, and what are some of the things that your dad has told you before coming here?
Yeah, I fully respect the legacy. I'm here to create my own legacy while also, living in my dad's legacy. He did a lot of great things here, so I'm just trying to build on that, do a lot of great things myself, put them together. It's a great legacy from a father and son duo. And my dad just told me to expect, to be pushed. You want to be pushed if you want to be great. So just expect to be pushed. Be ready for the hard times, the hard moments. Don't let anything break you. Just go through any obstacle and keep your head straight on a straight line. Focus on the main goal and keep going.
Christine, first up.
What is it about Coach Harris that stood out to you as a receiver, and what does it mean for him to be co-OC now?
It means a lot, as our receiver coach being the co-OC, that might give us more opportunities, you never know. But Coach Harris, we're in practice, we're in film, he gonna call you out. Even if you say the right answer, he gonna double question you just so he makes sure you know the answer. So that's the type of guy he is, gonna make sure everybody in the room knows their responsibility at least. And then when we get to the field, he's gonna focus on the little fundamentals. And once we got that, he's gonna push us in the drills like tour duty. He's in our ear, main one in our ear pushing us. So it's great to have a guy like that always on you. He's never gonna let you slack. That's the type of guy he is. So great guy to be in the receiver room with, and the co-OC. I'm very excited about that. He should be able to get us some opportunities as receivers, and I'm looking forward to that.
Liam Rooney, second row.
Then we hear a lot about Deuce, obviously last season, and then throughout the offseason, just his leadership qualities and capabilities. How valuable is he as a resource for you? And obviously he understands the other side of it too, as coming in as the son of someone who played here. Yeah. How important is that relationship?
Very important. Deuce, first day I got on campus, I knew that's who I wanted to be, not be like, but follow, let him lead me, follow behind him, see the routines he's doing. I still got to pick up stuff like that. So like the past couple of weeks, I've been coming in with Deuce. We're the first ones in the building, getting the extra work in. So I'm just trying to see as much as I can from a pro-ready guy as I can and just carry that on into my next 3 years in college and hopefully pass that down to a youngin' that's coming up under me. So he's a very valuable guy in that room, not just the on-field, the off the field. Even like a senior project, I'm interviewing him, asking him questions, It's just a lot of knowledge coming from a guy like that. And he's just a good example to follow. So it's not hard to succeed in a room like that.
Corey, second row on your right.
I know the answer at this point is probably everything. You want to work on everything as a receiver. But when spring practice starts, what are you really focused? What do you have to get better at your game? Because I assume the goal is to be on the field even as a true freshman. So what do you think you have to improve as a receiver?
I'm not sure it'll be hard, but adjusting to the speed of the game, the pace of the game. Also, not giving any indicators on when I'm breaking in my route. I've been working on that recently, keep my shoulder square until I'm at the point of break. And, that's the main thing I'm working on right now, no indicators. But besides that, you know, work on everything. You're never perfect, so, you know, you work on the things you're good at, you work on the things you're not good at, and hopefully they all level up to each other. But trying to show no indicators within my routes, that's what I'm working on mainly.
You obviously your dad, but your older brother was a really good athlete. Like you have an athletic family. Like coming up, were they tough on you? Did they? What was it like around the house, just in terms of competition and things like that?
It was a competitive household. Everyone wanted to be the best, so it pushed us all. You know, my big brother, when he was in high school, he was class of 2015, coming out of Bowles High School. I was at their practices, watching how hard they worked. And as soon as I was in 4th, 5th grade, that's when it started for me. You know, my dad, he was always on me, making sure I worked out. He didn't let me go without working out, or at least working out the correct way. You know, my big brother just gave me little tips and tools. You know, he wasn't in the house, so all he could do was give me tips and tools. But my dad, he pushed me to the max. That's why I am where I am today. And I'm grateful for that. And now I'm here. Now I got to push myself and a lot of coaches to push me. So just being pushed got me ready for here, you know. So when the coaches push me, all I say is thank you. I mean, that's what I need. So that's what I got from my pops.
Matt?
You were committed to this program both at the peak of it under Mike Norvell and really at the worst part of it. What about him made you really want to come here and be a part of the program?
No matter what happens, you know, he's always focused on the next step. You know, he pushes us. He reminds us the great in things, and he reminds us to keep going. You know, if you work hard, you know, the good things are gonna come. You just gotta put in the work and invest your time and effort into things. And if you do that, you'll come out successful as well as the team. You know, if everybody buys in, you know, the sky's the limit. So that's what I like about him. He's gonna keep pushing. He's always gonna let you know the next step, you know, and what to do with that next step. And I like when he talks about response. You know, you're gonna go through a bunch of things in life, but it's how you respond, and that's what we got to do every moment while we're here. So that's what I love.
Corey?
I'll ask one of the old guy questions. You know, your dad played here good 37 years ago at this point. Was this? How much do you know about what he did here? And have you seen, I assume you've seen some highlights. What does he tell you about his time here, and what do you know about how good he was?
All I see is the couple clips from 1986 through 89 that he shows me. So I know just the way people talk about him and respect him. I know he left a great legacy here. You know, I can't fully get to experience what he did here, but I can hear from other people, and it gives me a perspective on what he did and the things he did for people while he was here. And he just always tells me the story on how he came to a camp here, Bobby Bowden. He was the shortest guy here, but he was doing the drills, and he was the best one out there. And Bobby Bowden took a chance on him, and he just told me how, you know, he stayed on him, pushed him, and you know, it's hard over size, and that meant a lot to Bobby, and it meant a lot to my dad because he poured it into my dad. And you know, just the perspective of other people's look on my dad. I know he did some great things here on and off the field. So, you know, just hearing things from other people helps me understand what he really did here.
Peter?
So Devin, what are some of the things that you, I guess you can say, inherit from your dad from a skill set standpoint, or what some of the skills that you kind of develop on your own?
I think he taught me a lot of mental lessons, you know, just to stay down and push through whatever you're going through. You feel me? My dad went through a lot. You know, he had 17 knee surgeries. So even things like that, he taught me how to deal with adversity. That helps in my everyday life here since I've been here. Skills on the field, I say got my speed from him, for sure. I'm not where he was at. He ran a 4.34 at the combine. I ran a 4.44 last year in the spring, so I'm trying to catch up to that right there. But that's the on-field, I think, skill I got from him. But in life, I got a lot of mental skills from him that's going to help me push through whatever's in front of me, help me succeed.
Chris?
What are truly your freshman year goals, and do you measure it by numbers? Do you measure it by contribution? How do you measure it?
Contribution, team success, my contribution to the success. You know, my main objective is to come in, listen to the coaches, do whatever they tell me to do and more, and lead the team the right way, feed into the offense, hopefully give some good advice to anyone who needs it, and, go out there and do what I do on the field. The field is going to take care of itself if I work hard in that building right there. So just listen to my coaches, and hopefully the plays I make will help contribute to the team's success, which is winning a championship here soon.
Have you had a chance to get out and throw with Ashton and Kevin and those guys at all yet? And what have you seen from them in general?
Yeah, we throw every Wednesday and Saturday. So, just building that, bond with them, getting that chemistry right. It's important for a quarterback and receiver. So I say, they're great quarterbacks. They put the ball where it needs to be. We work back shoulder throws. We work all that. So, they're both coming in with their head down working, leading us, leading the offense like it's their offense. And it's great to see, as long as you have a leader at quarterback, you have a chance. So I feel like that's a great thing for us. And the on-field play, is spectacular by both of them. Go to the field, not many balls on the ground. If it is, it's one of the receivers' fault, if I'm being honest. So just little things like that, I say will help us in the long run.
Good, Ira, for the last one.
Just the one last thing with your dad, I think I remember reading quotes he said when he was, I might look like it, but I actually didn't cover him. But some of the quotes, he just was a guy that came, even though he wasn't the biggest guy, and there's the clip of him putting the flag on Miami dude's head. He just was not going to back down. Do you have that same chip on your shoulder?
For sure, you got to carry that chip on your shoulder, even if people aren't doubting you, even though you always have doubters. You got to carry a chip on your shoulder just to keep you going. That chip right there is a motivation piece, so you can't go nowhere without motivation. So you always got to carry that chip. So I for sure carry a chip on my shoulder. And my pops, he had more of a chip on his shoulder because, this was the only offer. Bobby Bowden gave him a chance late, and he came. He didn't know what he could do, really, but he came here, put his head down, worked, listened to the coaches, and came out successful. So that helped right there a lot.
Okay, thanks, Devin.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.